this is Deck Cluskey. Up and down these hills. But I like talking to you, I like encouraging you to be successful in the music industry. And you will be if you stick with me. What a nice thing to say. Not being facetious, it's just that I do feel at my stage of the game it's my duty really to pass on my knowledge to anybody who wants to hear it. And thank goodness I have an awful lot of knowledge. I was talking last week about sharing files. Oh, isn't that lovely up there? I wonder, can I get a shot of that? The moon. You see the moon up there? Isn't that gorgeous? Yeah, sharing files. Either with a hard drive, sending a hard drive by Jiffy Bag, backwards and forwards, or the other way, which is not as good really, but almost as good. Having a session which you keep the same as your partner who is overseas, and you share WAV files or MIDI files or MIDI files over the net. Just import them into the session. What I didn't say, which is very interesting, I've actually done it a couple of years ago very successfully. I actually had a client in Rome, and I had his singer in my studio, and I was producing her singing and the back singers as well, and he was on Skype, and that was fascinating. So he was I had a laptop with Skype on it, so he was able to listen in. Quality wasn't terrific, I should imagine, but he was able to listen in and give his feedback, what he thought, and that was interesting. Now let's get on to sending files to whoever, record companies, production companies, publishers, maybe to friends, or maybe to clients that want to hear your stuff. I have to send stuff all over the world, and I'll tell you the way I do it. Now, first of all, I do recognize that people in the music industry, like myself, and major people in the industry, simply do not like downloaded files or accessible files, you know, Spotify, call it what you will, just using a laptop, because 9 times out of 10 I'm going to listen to it on a laptop or a tablet or even on a phone, a small phone, and we all know what the sound quality is like, so I don't get a real idea. So people in the industry will always automatically say to me, please Deck, don't send me MP3s, don't send me this, don't send me that, please send me a CD. And I say, I was going to do that anyway. And that way, a CD is totally transportable. This is the other fact that people don't realise. If you got on a laptop, you got to unplug the laptop, because 9 times out of 10 the battery will be gone on the laptop. Mine has been gone for about 2 years. And you know, you've got to hike it into the office next door. Then if they want to listen to it on good speakers, then you've got to connect it up, you've got to find the lead, you've got to go dismantle everything, put it all together. It's a pain in the tuchus, it really is. So what we say is, CD, please. You've got to also recognize that if you're sending stuff to people, and even if you're sending a CD, make sure it's a properly recorded, what we call AIF file. And it's an interleaved AIF file. That's the best quality. That's CD quality, which is 44.1 Hertz. So it's recorded at 1/44,100 Hertz, whatever that means. I do know that's what happens, but I'm not that technical, I'm not interested. Don't send MP3s to anybody. Don't record MP3s onto a CD. Oh, and by the way, a little tip here. Always, always, always make sure that you check your CD completely on a separate CD player in the car or in the kitchen, whatever. The number of CDs I've been sent, important, urgent CDs, and I'll tell you, I even did it. I was doing some background music for BBC in Leeds, sent them a CD and it was blank because it wasn't finalized, what you call finalized. I was very embarrassed. So I would say to you, check, check and recheck. The old SAS standard. Check, check and recheck. Now if you have to, or you're asked to send files over the net, use DROPBOX. That's currently the industry standard. DROPBOX, just put dropbox.com, I'll put it on the screen down below, and just sign up for DROPBOX. And you don't, the person who you're sending the DROPBOX link to doesn't even have to be a member of DROPBOX, but you do to be able to use their services. It's free, by the way, but if you're sending a mammoth amount of stuff every day professionally, then you would be advised to join professionally, and then you get absolutely huge facilities to send. If you're sending films, that sort of thing. The other company is YouSendIt. I used to use YouSendIt, and then for some unknown reason everybody seemed to want me to use DROPBOX, so I do. I use DROPBOX. So that's the way to send them. Second point is that it's okay sending them, but make sure that you say to the client or whoever is asking you for the files, just drop them an email or call them up. What's wrong with the phone, for goodness sake? Or text them and say, what sort of files do you use? Because a number of times I assume that people want AIF files, which is the best quality, and that's the one we like in the industry, and they simply can't open the files. And then you've got all that going backwards and forward, I can't open the files, and then they're trying to download all sorts of software to convert the files and everything. Just simply make sure you know what they want in the first place. And sadly, most people will want MP3. Now, whether you like it or not, MP3 is what they call a digitally compressed system to make a smaller number of bytes. It's as simple as that. Now, it doesn't take a rocket scientist to work out that if you got a smaller number of bytes, therefore you got a smaller quality, a less quality. And people will argue backwards. My daughter argues this all the time, saying, oh, you can't hear any difference. I can. Because somewhere, the way we describe it is the whole middle is missing. You got the top and you got the bottom, so it's great for DJs and that in clubs where they got the top and the bottom, but there's no definition in the middle. That's the problem. So make sure you know what the client wants and send it by DROPBOX. Say you're going to send them a DROPBOX file, and the DROPBOX system, once you're into it, it's a bit unwieldy when you're not used to it, but once, use it a couple of times, three times, and you'll be well used to it, and you will love it. And you can send it to a number of people at the same time. I mean, stuff I do for I do a lot for people who have Hollywood work and Disney work and that, and I have to send films all the time, music on films and direct films and all that, and that's what I do. And I can send it to, it normally goes to about, stuff I do goes to about, I think it's about 5 people. Toronto, London, Hollywood, all over the place, Los Angeles. So there we are, this is Deck, telling you how to send files and what files to send and how to come over as a total professional, because that's what you're trying to do. You're trying to be a money-making person in this business. So that's what you have to do, behave in a money-making way. And look at this, I always come up here, and I hope you can see in the background, little tree. Let me do this. I'm doing a selfie today. Look at that tree. Now, I planted that about 4 years ago. Somebody has taken the stake out. I'll put that back. Isn't that lovely? Up in the Downs. Why don't you plant a tree? In a few years' time, you can put a plaque on it. I'm going to put a plaque on that in a few years' time. See you next week. Bye.